Hi, everyone. This is Raina Carrillo with Purpose and Passion. And today I'm super excited, full of energy. Walked into City Club feeling brand new. You know why? Because I have my girl, Jessica Guzman, here. And let me tell you something. I interviewed her a long time ago on my podcast called Straight from the Streets Radio. And now, obviously, I've grown, I revamped. I am running for mayor of Inglewood. And let me tell you, people with a driven mentality to succeed in life always cover purpose and passion. And today we have Jessica in the building.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited and grateful to be here.
I'm excited because you're about to educate our viewers. You know, she's a certified holistic health coach. And I think about health because through this journey of running for mayor, I have two situations that I need to fix in my life. So, you know, I always hear people say stress can kill a person. Stress can cause health issues. And for the first time, I can say, yes, I can say it's true because I've experienced it. So today's topic is health coach. And so thank you so much for being here once again.
Me.
My little ice cream cone. Inside joke for
Inside
today.
joke. We get to eat our cake and ice cream mindfully, please.
Yes, organically.
Organically.
So I definitely, I'm really, really excited. I'm serious, Jessica. You just gave me this energy today. This morning has been interesting, but as I'm driving here, I started to kind of like settle in. And then when I walked up, to the stairs, park, whatever, then got to the elevator and I seen your beautiful face. You know what I mean? It was still chaotic in my mind,
Yeah.
but we're all settled in and I'm just so excited. Look at this beautiful view, man.
It's beautiful.
My goodness.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Very beautiful. So take my viewers down memory lane. Like, where were your parents from? Where were you born and raised? And how was your childhood?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. But I was actually just talking about this. I have a group that I coach once a week, and I'm checking in with them regularly. And I'm saying we have to look back in order to propel ourselves forward.
Yes.
To move forward. What did you learn from that time? Because a lot of the times it's a little scary to look back.
Yes.
Especially if there was a lot going on in your childhood. You look back at your history and maybe you go, nope, that's too much. I don't want to look there.
Yes.
But in order for us to move forward, especially in health and wellness,
yes.
We have to know where our beliefs stem from, where they came from. So thank you for asking me that because it's so in alignment with what I was just talking about. So with that being said, I am Mexican American. I was actually born in San Luis Potosí, Mexico.
Yeah,
and both of my parents are Mexican and they are from Guadalajara, Zacatecas.
Yay!
We're kind of all over the place.
My dad's from Aguasol, so anytime I meet anybody from Zacatecas, I'm excited.
Yeah, so we are from Mexico, and I came and went from here to San Luis Potosí, back to California since I was about 5 years old.
Okay.
And when I turned 10, I actually moved to San Luis Potosí for 2 years with my little sister. And when I came back, I just, it was such a culture shock to go back home where I was born and then to come back here and readjust to this country and lifestyle and way of doing things and being. And it's so fast paced here, and it hasn't changed. I think it's only gotten faster and quicker with our phones.
More population.
Yes, more population. It's so different here. And shortly after, I got pregnant with my now 23-year-old son. So I got pregnant at the age of 13. And that completely changed my world, as you
Yes.
can imagine.
Of course, because you become a mom.
Yes. And now there are so many different responsibilities and way of doing and being. And my worldview just completely changed.
Yes.
So I had to grow up very quickly.
Yes.
I'm currently doing a lot of inner child healing, teen healing. So again, going back to our roots and where we came from, sometimes it could be, well, a lot of the times, it could be really challenging and scary to look back and do that work. But in order to move forward, we have to ask ourselves, what did I learn from this time in my life?
Yes.
What did I learn from my roots, from my parents, from even stories that I hear from my ancestors or about my ancestors? So what did I learn from there? And, what has my life guided me to do this whole time? And for me, it's been mental health, teens, addiction, and bringing a holistic approach to our healing and our health and wellness process.
I want you to define holistic for those that are not very in tune into the definition and why it's important and why is it different than your regular health coach, because holistic is a strong title for me, like, because I don't know the full definition, but when I hear holistic, it makes me feel like it's a good thing, it's whole, right? It's whole, holistic, it's something with health, and so I wanted for you to educate me as well and the viewers on that. That title,
thank you
holistic.
for this opportunity, because when I come across clients or just anyone that hears the word holistic, they automatically think organic, plants.
Yes.
They think, I'm supposed to be like up in a mountain meditating
the Zen thing.
the Zen thing. Taking a holistic approach to health means that we're not just focusing on what's your blood pressure like, what are you eating, what are you not eating. We are taking into consideration you as a whole, what's going on in your day-to-day life. Also looking at your background, where you came from, again, your beliefs around health and wellness and well-being.
Yes.
It's looking at different areas of our lives because it matters. It matters so much when we approach health and healing. So holistic, yes, we can take into consideration coping strategies to help us relax and to find ways to self-soothe that are comforting, but yet in alignment with where we want to go. So it's not just focusing on one thing, it's you as a whole. Yes. So I hope that answers.
No, it answers, because I'm even thinking, hold on. I just, excuse me. I do need the blessings.
Thank you.
I was like, bless you, bless you. But yes, thank you so much. But I was thinking too, when you talk about holistic and I'm thinking about, like, I'm a woman of faith. I believe in God, and that has helped me through. But I also believe that God creates people like you to have that physical relationship with, because with God it's spiritual.
Yes.
But with you it's a physical, right? I can touch, I can see, I can talk, right?
Oh, I love that. Yes.
And when I was thinking about that, I was just thinking about me, how I never got to fully heal, right? And I know when I think about the health component, my Mexican side of the family, they eat menudo, pozole, tortillas, beans with lard, right? Things like that can clog up your arteries, but it tastes so delicious. And then you have the Creole side of the family, right? And that's like the jambalaya, the gumbo, the sausage that's called boudin, that's mixed with like dirty rice, and it could be all kind of stuff. It's so delicious though. It's made out of pork, and so during the journey of being pregnant with my last twins, they told me, because at the time I couldn't eat food, I couldn't hold food in, but for some odd reason, cereal and milk was my best friend. but I found out that milk turns into sugar, and the cereal that was eating Lucky Charms and all that extra stuff
Yeah.
was sugar on top of sugar.
Yes.
So I was considered pre-diabetic. So I had to poke my finger, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this for a lifetime. Like I can't, like even just doing it now kind of like scared me.
Yeah.
Right. And then I had the babies, and I started, to still try to eat correctly and everything, try to stay away from carbs. And if it was like pasta, it was like veggie pasta, like trying to replace it, because I love pasta. I love Italian food. Gosh.
We love food here.
Yes, I do. I'm already thinking my mouth is thirsty and watering for food and water right now. And so I look at both sides of my family, and there's diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, cancer. So if that is in the lineage, spiritually, I told God at church, like, it stops with me. Meaning, like, I cut those ties because they don't belong here. I want to live a long life. And I always jokingly say this, but I'm telling the truth at the same time. Like, I want to be one of those great-great-grandmothers on the dance floor ripping it up. Just ripping it up. And so it's like, whose great granny is this? He right here. And I can see all my great grandchildren said, that's my grandma. I'll probably have them call me G-Ma, because that sounds cool.
There you go.
That's G-Ma on the dance floor, 80 years old, doing the crip walk. And so when I think about like family and the history of the health situation, and my brother, he's considered overweight, right? And so he has a fatty liver or something. And then he has, a bunch of acne. And I know that when it comes to your blood, if it's not cleaning correctly, the pimples pop out of, your body, because your body is saying, hello, listen to me before you get sicker. This is what's happening. And so I look at that and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm happy you're here. So then you can kind of give us a little taste of, if you ever had a client that had diabetes, what were examples of changing their health situation?
Yeah, so everyone is unique in their own way. I always say, there isn't one person that has the same fingerprints, right? Yes. We are all unique. So what might work, and I'm using air quotes here, for one person might not for the other, but where can we start? That's where we take the holistic approach.
Okay, I like that. Thank you. Right? I'm ready now. I'm ready. I'm enlightened.
So with that being said, I also want to touch on something that you mentioned earlier, which was I didn't fully heal. And I think that if we are still here, living and breathing, I don't think it ever
to figure
the
things
healing
out, right?
never ends.
Yes, I like that. Thank you, because I was like, I thought it did, but then I'm like, okay, now I feel better.
We can level up a little. We can take into consideration other areas of our lives that need attention.
Can I say this?
Yes,
because I heard this guy, I forgot his name, but he's like a something therapist, gangster, I forgot his name, but he says healing is a process.
Yes.
And so now because I'm like, it's funny because he said healing is not a goal, it's a process. And I thought it was a goal because I'm like, oh, I just want to heal and get it over with and move on.
Yeah.
But you're telling me this, he's saying this, and I'm just like,
that was a message for you.
Yeah, like Raina, healing is a process. So don't like try to fix things, fast, or trying to hurry it up. And oh my God.
And when we feel so uncomfortable, we're not feeling well, we are really stressed out, we think we're meeting the same obstacles time after time. I think it's common, maybe even normal for us to think, okay, when is this over? Can I just get it done, done and over with? Yes, it's a process. And now this is where I personally love writing, and sometimes I just free write. There's no purpose, no point. I'm just there doodling, and then it turns into what we now know as journaling. And I love to ask myself, what did I learn from this situation, and what have I yet to learn? Because it keeps popping up, like it's in my face again. And sometimes we know the answer, but we don't feel safe, comfortable to take that next step. Right? So the process.
Yeah. And my friend had asked me that. She was like, Raina, I keep attracting the same man, and it's the same situation. He's a cheater. He's a cheater. He's a cheater. And then of course, I'm not like a professional therapist, but I just told her, I said, sometimes when we're a little broken, we're ready for the next guy, but we haven't even healed from the first, the second, the third, the fourth relationship. So it's like you have to find yourself first, because you keep attracting the same type of guy. Yes. So kind of like work within yourself. Yeah. And, and of course I'm a Christian. So I'm like, write your dream man on a piece of paper, and ask God, like, when it's time for this dream man to come to me, then, these are the signs that I'm looking for, right? Yeah. Kind of like, a checklist. Okay, you believe in God? Okay, that's one point right there, because that's what I'm looking for. Yes. You have parents that are still married. Oh, number 2, that's another brownie point, because that's what I'm looking for, right? Yeah. But sometimes in relationships, sometimes us women, including myself, even before, like, my thing was, I was a player. You know what I mean? I would date a guy, and then if I was really into them, I was focused on them. And then when I would fall out of that interest, I would already have another guy lined up. So when I broke up, I would be with that guy, right? Yeah. So, and it wasn't about sexual stuff. It was just having another person there to replace that person. Yeah. And then finding out that wasn't healthy, because it seemed that maybe there was a way that I just did not want to be alone. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So once I said, so I was like, okay, I prefer to be alone, because that's not healthy for me. Yeah. That's not teaching me nothing. So back in the days, I used to journal. I have journals of as a child all the way until high school. I believe so, yeah. And then I just stopped out of nowhere. And then that was it. And then I'll just live my life as living it. But I know that when you're writing, you're like in a diary, it helps you. And then you can kind of reflect back. Yes. You know what I mean?
And you can take a look at the progress that you've made, because there's going to be those days where you're standing there and thinking, oh, I'm not making any progress. Yes. This is still the same. But if you give yourself a chance to reflect and bring awareness into where you're currently at, what is true, what is not true, you'll see that so much has changed. Yes. But again, we get a little impatient when we're not, feeling well, when we think we're not doing well, or when we're not yet fixed, which can also be another reason why, taking steps towards health and healing can be difficult, because who wants to claim or accept that you need fixing? Yeah. We're not a car. We're not, we are.
Like, do I need an oil change today?
Yeah. So there are things that we can do to fuel and replenish and nourish ourselves. But who wants to always be thinking about, I'm broken, I need fixing? Yeah. And circling back to diabetes, that could be the reason, why a lot of people feel kind of stuck, right? Because they maybe have had coping strategies to comfort themselves and, feel good in their body through food.
That is I.
That is I. So for some, it's men. For others, it's, a drink. For others, it's food. So.
Before kids, it was shopping. Because I could do it, right? Yeah. And then now I have 5 kids. I'm like, oh my God, let me eat my cereal. So take the viewers and myself kind of like in a little skit journey. I'm your new client. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I like it. Like, I love it. So obviously I'm your client. My name is Raina Carrillo, and I'm running for mayor of Inglewood. I have a husband and I have 5 kids. And I want to lose weight, but my comfort is food.
Okay. So Raina, why do you want to lose weight?
Because I look at my past self and I want that body at least close. I want to feel beautiful again, and I feel like the body I'm in, I'm not beautiful anymore. I don't feel beautiful enough. So that's why I want to lose weight. That's the first one. The second one is obviously I don't want to have diabetes or cancer or
Yes.
things of that nature.
Yes. And what was the difference during that time versus this time, other than 5 children, you said?
Yes.
And a husband,
Yes.
and running for mayor, and I mean, you fill in the blank, podcast, and so what was the difference back then?
The difference back then is I didn't have responsibility. I didn't have kids, right? I was with no children, right?
Mhm.
And I can work. I can go to the gym if I wanted to. I can leave as I please. You know what I mean? It was no responsibility. It was just me.
Okay.
And now I have so much responsibility where I'm just not drained, but sometimes I feel drained.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then when I get those moments where I feel like a little sad, when I take my shower, whether it's, of course, nighttime and daytime, in the morning, when the water hits me, I'm praying to God to, to give me energy to continue my day. And I'm full of gratitude because a lot of people didn't wake up today. So this morning I did the same thing. Like, God, teach me to love my physical form because I know I'm beautiful inside. I know I'm amazing. I love to treat people the way I would love to be treated.
Yes.
And, just put more into me so I can continue. But sometimes when life happens, it's like, I'm like, the gym, I don't even want to look at the gym.
Yeah. But what I'm hearing is that what you want is to go to the gym to feel beautiful.
Yeah, because feel beautiful means to get back to
Okay.
get it tight, get it right kind of thing.
Okay. And so tell me, in feeling beautiful, what is that going to do for you?
That's a good question. What will it do for me? It would make me feel comfortable to wear outfits without being hard on myself. So like when I was with no kids, I could wear anything flawless to me, right? And then now when I wear clothes, I'm always like, okay, I gotta hide the frupa, you have. I'm scared to do the. I would never get a tummy tuck. I'm scared of that. But I've thought about lipo, like just lipoing the fat from my stomach, so then I can feel not insecure because I do feel insecure. Like every time I wear an outfit, like for example, Lux Media had a huge woman empowerment event, and I was wearing this pink dress, and it was a tight dress, and I wore Spanx, and I could still see my flaws in the stomach. But my team members from Lux Media, they were like, "You look amazing." Then everybody else were like, "You look amazing," and I'm just like, why am I feeling this inside my head? Yes. Everybody's telling me I'm looking amazing, but I don't feel it. So there has to be a reason behind it. And only thing I can figure is when I look back at the past at my body, I'm just like, oh my God, I was so perfect in my eyes.
Yeah.
And now I'm not.
Were you really perfect?
Yes, I think I was at that time.
Now we're talking about physically?
Yeah, physically.
Okay.
Yeah, physically.
Okay.
I didn't have a stomach. And that's what I feel is perfect for me,
Yeah.
But then sometimes I reflect as an adult and I'm like, Raina, you didn't have 5 kids back then.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for being open
of course, because I want people to understand that, like, I'm real, and this is real, and this is what you have to deal with.
Absolutely.
And you're dealing with it right now with me. And I like it, though, because it's like you have to be transparent. You have to be open.
Yes.
And vulnerable.
Yes, absolutely. And when it comes to our physical body, so earlier you had mentioned that God, and I'm paraphrasing that God speaks through us, right?
Yes.
We wish that we could just hear what God has to say. Just tell me, I want to hear you. Yet we are divinity in motion.
Yes.
And
I can see God saying you're perfect, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not.
Yes. Yet we have to also understand that some of these beliefs stem from society, culture. Okay. So I want to ask you this. Where did you pick up that belief that perfect and beautiful has to look a certain way?
Society, because you don't see full figure models or plus size models, right? When you were growing, like in my days, that's the 90s. So it was those guest models that were super skinny.
Yeah.
And so even though I was skinny, I was still trying to be super skinny, and I became bulimic. And that didn't pan out very well because I almost died, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I reflect back and I was like, okay, I just need to just accept my body for what it is, right? And I started to just do that. But then here I am years later, 5 kids, and I can't embrace it. Like I feel beautiful because I know I'm not ugly because I'm a beautiful person. You know what I mean? Like I feel like beauty comes within and it travels out, because you could be the finest woman in the world, but your insides are ugly. You're not attractive. People don't want to sit with you. Nobody want to hang around with you because you're so negative. You could be the most beautifulest thing outside the shell, but inside you're rotten. You know what I mean? So I know that when people, before they used to say, you're beautiful, and I would be like, girl, stop, you know, because I could never take a compliment, right? Because I didn't feel that way. But now that I'm older, I'm trying to embrace that. Like, you look beautiful. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And it's so weird because I'm not used to saying thank you and embracing it.
Let me ask you this. When those times that you have, because I do remember you were exercising for a bit.
Yes,
I would love the videos that you would share.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, you go, girl. So during that time, did you look any different, or did you look the same as before?
Okay, so people would tell me they could see a difference, but did I see the difference? Just a little.
Okay.
Because by the clothes.
And did you still have your, what did you call it?
Fruit That's what they call it now.
Did you still have that?
It was not as bad as it is now.
Okay. But it was still something that you could, if you look at the mirror, it's still something that's there,
but it
right?
it was there, but it wasn't noticeable that much. So I could get away with wearing the Spanx to make me look nice.
Got it.
And now it's like I could put Spanx on and I still see through pictures like, oh my God, there he goes.
And I'm wondering if, well, I don't have to wonder. How did you feel during that time?
Exercising.
Did you feel beautiful? Did you feel?
I felt motivated to continue to lose weight for health purposes and to get back to that Raina, you know, that old Raina.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I miss her.
Does that old Raina keep popping up though in other areas of your life? Like, oh, I miss that version. Oh, I miss
a little bit. A little bit does. A little bit of the a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It does pop up.
Okay.
More like, you know, like sometimes like when like my mentor tells me, hey, let's go have a drink, I'm ready for it because I'm so stuck at home all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't get a chance to be free. So when I do go out, I'm just so excited just to be around people, you know, and just have a good time, because the old Raina would always be out all the time. So I know I can't reflect that much because I'm a married woman with 5 kids, but it does feel good to kind of like,
of course,
you know, have your little personal time with friends.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Because you are still an individual. Going back to, we are all unique, and you know, we're in partnership with our husbands, and you know, we are mothers, yet we are still so very unique and an individual and powerful force, and we deserve that freedom and time. Yet so much can come up, you know, mom guilt. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing that. So it's supporting ourselves through those moments with all of that mental chatter. But going back to the reason why I was asking if you felt any different when you were exercising is because sometimes nothing will change out here, but because we know that we are showing up for ourselves in a certain way, right? We are maybe, you know, starting with water. Because most of the time that's where I start my clients. I don't even need to touch or tap on the food. I'm like, are you dehydrated? Because that might solve a lot of your issues. Have you slept? So a lot of the times, if we know that we are showing up for ourselves
Yes.
and, taking care of ourselves in certain ways, even if it begins with, maybe I take 5 more minutes in the shower to
Yes.
pray, to, just help myself relax and be here in this present moment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's, 5 minutes before bedtime, you
Yes.
are doing the same thing. Maybe it's not in the shower, but before bedtime, you are truly congratulating yourself for
Yes.
everything your body carried you through that day,
Yes.
and speaking to yourself in a way that is loving. And I know you're a woman of
Yes.
faith, and
Yes. Yes.
saying
Yes.
thank you so much for this body that literally carried me through all of these moments.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to, sometimes it's not so much as changing outwardly, but it feels so good to know that you are doing the thing.
Yeah.
It feels so good to, find yourself in that process of being open to taking these steps and making these, creating these habitual changes that are
Yes.
needed. So going back to body image, though,
Yes.
I also wanted to ask you, what was it about that time, that you felt so good? Because can you invite a little bit of that in this current moment?
I gotta learn how to do that because I know I can. Because in my brain, because I like when you tell kids you could do anything, anything is possible, right?
Yeah.
So a part of me is like I just gotta learn how to figure that out, right? I gotta learn how to do that because
Yeah.
when I was younger, for me, my body was perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was so comfortable in my skin. I can put a two-piece on. I could wear a tight dress, flawless. I could put jeans on, and I just anything I put on, it didn't matter. I just felt perfect in it, right? And then now I'm just like, oh my God, I need to wear these type of shirts to kind of hide it and, kind of hide the arms. This is me every day trying to find clothes that can just hide me. And so now I have to learn because I know obviously there is a way to learn to say, okay, this is what my body is right now and I can embrace it. So I got to learn how to do that, how to embrace
we
it.
can definitely begin there, but this is where I've had to be completely transparent.
Yes.
I've had a challenging time accepting that self-love, body acceptance. What's another word that's being thrown out there? Just loving our body each and every day the way that it is. Of course, we can do that, yet, and there's also nothing wrong with wanting to feel better and look better, and those go hand in hand. So there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm wondering if you can invite yourself to truly be in this moment and ask, what can I do right now? Can I take a bottled water with me to work? Can I, go for a walk with my kids in the evening? Because you're spending that family time, but you're also starting somewhere. So this also goes back to expectations. We expect for it to look a certain way, not acknowledging where we're currently at. So accepting where we're at. And again, you're a woman of faith and
so I gotta
prayer.
learn how to accept all of this.
accept all of it, and love all of it.
And I think that is a key word, accepting, because I have not, right? And then when I was working out, I was really like, oh, I'm gonna get to size 8. And then the girl would say, the trainer, because I had a personal trainer, she says, we have to film this because this is your motivation. And then through the process, I was inspiring a lot of people. And then when I fell off, she moved to Texas, and I was like, I'm done,
Yeah.
And people were like, what happened? I'm all like, she left to Texas, and that was my excuse. She left to Texas, and that was it.
Yeah.
Because I am the type of person that needs to be motivated by somebody else. I cannot do it on my own. Because once I get home, I'm with my kids, and it's mom mode. And it's like, and by the time I'm finished cooking or buying food for the kids and getting them ready for 9, I am drained to where I remember one time my
Yes.
husband was like, just go to the gym. And I went to the gym and I felt like I lied to myself because I literally went to the gym. I didn't even stay for the whole hour. I was 30 minutes and I saw Taco Bell and I went and got me a my favorite
Yeah.
burrito supreme and taco supreme with a
Yeah.
cup of water because I didn't want soda. I felt guilty. Yeah, so that was me. So
Yeah.
now I have to start learning how to just accept the body I'm in right now in my skin. I have to accept that. And
I wonder what you can do in this stage
uh-huh.
that creates that memory imprint.
Yes.
It creates that imprint and gives yourself permission. You're giving yourself permission
Yes.
to explore. Okay, well, what can I do in this current stage, in this
Yes.
moment, versus I am still trying to function off of old outdated beliefs maybe,
Mhm.
and also the way I was doing things back then. So
Yes.
going back to expectations. But I truly believe that we do have the power to make these changes one step at a time,
Yes.
one day at a time, because it's made a world of a difference for me.
Yes.
I've seen my clients make such great changes in their lives, and then it trickles
Wow.
down into, their significant others'
Yes.
lives and their children's lives. But it does start with us and believing that I can do this, but maybe letting go of that expectation.
I know what you mean. Like, stop focusing on being in that size 8 again. Stop focusing on that size 8.
So what else would you like to focus on? They can still create this.
I think that's the major thing right now that's been like stuck with me is that
size 8.
So I just want to tell you thank you, because right after when we end this show, we're going to be talking later. Too bad you guys can't be there to get all the tea. But I do want to share with you, as we're getting close to closing, purpose and passion is when you told me you were a mother at the age of 13, you are a strong woman, and I want to say you're amazing.
Thank you.
Because sometimes society, because obviously society will count a person out when they're a teenager and become a parent. And we all, like, I remember seeing your post with the gangster eyebrows and all that. We all have a past, right? So when I seen your journey and where you're at and where your son is at, it's just like a beautiful thing to see.
Thank you.
And I just want to say I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I truly am. I'm very proud of you. I'm excited that you're, a certified holistic health coach to be able to help other women like myself. And also want to commend you on always taking yourself to the next level, because God shows me every year you try to do bigger and better, and that's important because it takes you to the next level every year.
Yes.
And I've seen you from the time I've interviewed you from Straight from the Streets Radio to now, and you have grown. Like, it's two different people, you know what I mean? But the same individual, you just went another notch up higher. And I just want to say thank you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm grateful that you're here on my show to share with the viewers your story. And how can people find you on your website or Instagram or Facebook?
Yeah, so because I've leveled up a little bit, my website is under construction, but you can find me at Coach Jess G. Guzman.
Awesome.
And then you'll see the launch of my website pretty soon.
Yay! Excited. Well, purpose and passion is about educating, empowering, and teaching awareness. And today I am inspired. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Purpose and Passion. God bless and have a prosperous day.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient Nasset. Nasset increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.